Hello, ladies and gentlemen, this is Suchetas back with another interview session on NPR. Our topic today is the atomic theory. Today, I will be interviewing many men and many scientists who have contributed to this theory. Right now, I have Mr. Democritus with me in the studio, a man who has done many things for science, specifically atoms. So, what was your contribution, sir? I proposed the idea of the atom. I thought it was a small, hard, indivisible particle. It's the smallest particle that there is. As you can see, I'm a true genius. I'm a master. Right. Well, you know what? We'll see about that later. Thank you for your time. Next, we have Mr. Aristotle. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Aristotle. Please give him a huge round of applause. And sir, what was your contribution? I propose that atoms can be divided into smaller parts. That Democritus fellow better watch out. He's completely wrong. I am the best. Why do these guys all have so much ego? Anyways, we have Mr. John Dalton here. Thank you, Suchetas. I created the first atomic theory. My theory stated that all substances are made of atoms. Atoms of the same element are the same. Atoms of different elements are different, and combining two atoms makes a new substance. I also believe that atoms can't be created, destroyed, or divided. And now we know that most of this is wrong. Anyways, thank you, Mr. Dalton. My pleasure. Next up, let's give a warm welcome to Mr. J.J. Thompson. Thank you. So, Mr. Thompson, what have you done for this theory? I discovered an electron. Yes, I was the one who discovered the electron. Using my cathode ray tube experiment. I fired a cathode ray through a vacuum-sealed tube. Sorry, I really can't talk today, can I, guys? I put positive and negative plates on each side of the tube. The ray went diagonally and was attracted to the positive plate, meaning that the ray was made up of negatively charged particles. I call these electrons. I made the plum pudding model, which was probably the best atom model ever, because guess what? It said that electrons were all over the atom and that they were all over the surface. Thank you, and by the way, your model was completely wrong. And now we have to hurry up to get through the rest of your explanation, the rest of the scientists, because you took so long. Anyways, thank you. Next, Mr. Ernest Rutherford, thank you. What did you do? I discovered that an atom is made mostly of empty space with a small dense particle known as the nucleus in the center. I used the gold foil experiment to find this. I fired a positive beam into gold foil. Part of the beam went through while part of the beam deflected. This showed that the atom was made mostly of empty space with a small, hard, dense particle in the center. I called this the nucleus. Cool. And, by the way, gold is really valuable, so if you still have that from your experiment, I'll be happy to take it. But thank you, sir. And, next up, Mr. Niels Bohr. Thank you. What did you do? I discovered that the electron's movement pattern can be predicted. Also, electrons move on levels around the nucleus. For example, I'll give you the first 4 levels. The first level holds 2 electrons, the second level holds 8 electrons, the third level holds 18 electrons, the fourth level holds 32 electrons. First of all, why did you have to say the levels so fast? Second off, the first part was wrong because, as proved later, the electron's movement can actually not be predicted. But thank you. Next, we have Mr. Schrödinger and Mr. Heisenberg, the last of the scientists. Thank you. Wait, why are you only here? Where's Heisenberg? Oh, Heisenberg couldn't make it. He's not feeling well. Oh, sorry to hear that. So, what did you do, sir? I discovered that the electron's path could not be predicted, meaning that Bohr is actually a Bohr-ing person. Also, I discovered that there is something called an electron cloud in an atom, which basically tells you where electrons are likely to be. This is where electrons have their hangouts and parties in the atom. And thank you, Mr. Schrödinger and Mr. Heisenberg, along with the rest of the scientists that we've interviewed. And thank you to all of you folks for listening. And that concludes today's interview session on NPR. Until next time, keep listening, folks.